Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Live and Be Great YouTube channel. I am Latonya Sampson-McDonald. I am a life coach and registered associate marriage and family therapist. So, I wanted to have my first on screen video in a while because this is a revamp of the YouTube channel. A lot of y'all know that struggle. Okay, I'm back though. I'm back. I'm gonna give it my best shot. But I wanted my first video back to explain why I became a therapist. I became a therapist based off of my own upbringing, my own childhood traumas. I felt as though I didn't really have a space to express myself freely. I didn't really understand how to articulate myself. And when it comes to my experience with being in my family, I feel like there's a lot of hurt people. There's a lot of hurt families out there, especially black families, that never really had that space to really take care of their mental health and have somebody in the therapy space that truly took all of that into account. Not just, okay, you may suffer from anxiety, you may suffer from depression, but what does that look like on a black person? How do we add the cultural aspect to it? And I've always been the one to ask why in my family since I was a little girl. It wasn't just, oh, this person is acting this way. It was more of a, well, why is this person acting this way? I was always the one to figure out why the behavior is what it is versus just reacting to it. Even when it came to being in high school and, undergrad, why, before you react, I would tell my friends, before you get upset with her or him, was their intention to hurt you or can we talk this out? That was always what I was doing, and I had been very, very insightful from a young age. And my first year in grad school, I had a professor tell me that I had the gift of insight. I didn't know what that was. I was like, insight? What is that? What do you mean? A gift of insight. And she was telling me that I am going to know what a client needs as soon as they walk into my office. But what I'm going to have to learn how to do is gauge when that client is ready to receive that information. And that that stuck with me, and it was very, very difficult, and I realized those patterns in my life and even in my friendships. I remember I would say things like, when you ready for me to tell you about yourself, let me know. Or, this is what you need to do. And until you're ready to do that, I don't want to hear nothing else about it. That was always me. And that was even me when I was younger. My mom would tell me that I will be in grown folks' conversation and I'll listen and be making people cry based off of the truth. And I've always had that gift, and my professor told me that was something that you couldn't teach anybody. So, that just empowered me more. And also, I do have a nephew that struggles with mental illness, and he reminds me of my autism clients that, have this black and white thinking, how they process information. And he's been through a lot of trauma himself. And my family didn't know what it was. And I know I kept saying, something's off, something's off. And me, before I'm even thinking about going back to school for psychology, I'm like, we got to get him some help. We got to get him some therapy. But another aspect is Black people's mental illness don't look like everybody else's mental illness. A lot of times you think it's just bad behavior, or they're acting out, or they're lazy, or they're just not trying. But there's a lot of trauma behind it. Like, we've always been villainized for expressing ourselves, for doing anything outside of the line that any white kid can go out and do, but we couldn't do it. And they've kind of trained us to even look at our own families like that, because if that's the response you're getting from the teacher, from this person, from that person, when your child goes to school, and nobody's really looking at, okay, what is this child's circumstance, what is the culture, how does this client face racism and things of that nature. They don't really look at that stuff, and they don't even teach you that really in school. There's like one course where it's called multicultural, or different programs, it can be called something else, but there's one course, and you don't learn that unless you're in a particular type of program. And that's something that should be learned in all schools, right, in any profession, because this is what you're going to have to deal with. And to not take in somebody's identity as part of the healing process is really doing a disservice to the community. And that's also something that I had to realize while I was in school as well. But yeah, my nephew's story definitely motivated me, because I'm just like, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna find some way to help my family, and help my family not only understand him, but help them heal and help them understand themselves and each other. Like, that was my whole drive. And family, hence marriage and family therapist, they're the core of everything. They're the reason why you make certain decisions that you make, be it fear or be it powerful or privilege. Like, they're the reason, right? It's in your DNA. You're not just carrying your stuff. You're carrying your mother's stuff, your father's stuff, your grandparents, great grandparents, on and on and on and on. Generational trauma is real. And me being a therapist is like having that eye and seeing my clients' faces light up when I finally was able to do my practicum experience, because they give you clients during your last year, they put you in the field, and seeing their faces light up when they saw somebody that looked like them, that let me know I was in the right space. It really did, and gave my life purpose. And it's the reason why I'm here today, being a life coach and a therapist. And you might ask, well, why are you a life coach and a therapist? I'm a life coach because right now I'm not licensed yet. I'm a registered associate. And once I take my test, I'll be licensed. But all that means is I can still see clients, but those clients, if they should come into an agency or private practice, I have to be supervised, right? So that's what that means. You have a supervisor over you. But as a life coach, I can see anybody. Still have my therapeutic background. It's not therapy. Life coaching is more solution focused, but I can still help people, right? And also, listen, if I got to trick you into your healing, I will, okay? I know there's a lot more people out there there are a lot more people that are more comfortable with life coaching than they are with therapy, because there's such a huge stigma on the term therapist. The term therapy, like, you feel like you have to be screaming at the walls in order to have a therapist. Yeah, those people need therapists too, but so does every human being that has a story, okay? And I love it. I love what I do. I love making a difference in people's lives. I love being some sort of guide to a family healing, a couple healing, a child, a individual, an addict. Like, I love it. It makes me feel good. And going through having my own therapist as well during this process, amazing, right? Because it's just like, where, after I'm carrying all of these people's things and their trauma and their pain, where do I put it? I have to have some place to drop it, right? So me having that space to take off the cape, beautiful. And I think that every therapist should have a therapist. If your therapist don't have a therapist, listen, I say run. Because honestly, I'm not going to ask my client to do anything that I wouldn't do. And when it comes to my life coaching, yeah, there's a line. Life coaching is more solution focused than anything. But if you are not taking your medication or need medication and things of that nature, yep, we got to refer you to another therapist, right? That's what the big difference is and where we have to draw the line. But as far as solutions, as far as taking you to the next step, letting you know the things that you do need to address before you get to the next step, I got you as a life coach. Okay, until I get my license, which should be this year. Um, but yeah, that's why I do what I do, and I love it, and I ain't going back. So I hope you all will stay with me for the journey. This channel will be everything from a therapeutic, a life coaching lens. Okay, I want to review shows because I know sometimes you guys look at stuff. People always try to diagnose somebody, some character, some reality TV star, with something, and 9 times out of 10 you might be right. I want to give you that. I want to give you that perspective, especially since media has such a big impact on how people view the world, right? I definitely want to be that sounding board to do that. But you'll see a lot of amazing things, a lot of topics here on this channel. Okay, so if you're ready, if you like what you see, if you like what you hear, please feel free to subscribe and watch all the videos. Like I said, this was a revamping. Also, I uploaded my podcast. I got through a whole podcast from 2020. I uploaded it, and I feel like the things that I talked about in the podcast are very still relevant in 2021. Okay, and will continue to be relevant. So feel free to go check those episodes out, and it'll also give you a taste of what is to come with this channel. I think you'll enjoy it. Yes. So thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next episode of Live and Be Great. Like, share, and subscribe. Bye. This channel will produce content that is both podcast and on-screen style. So if you're interested and you enjoyed today's show, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. See you soon.